Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, or good morning, depending on when you're watching this video. My name is Francisco Vega, Mr. Vega. Today we're going to be presenting a lesson on poetry. Today we're going to start our unit on poetry, and we're going to start with the very basics. We're going to talk about a few things that we need to know before we jump into anything else. One of the first things we have to start with is vocabulary. You need to know a lot of the vocabulary, what this means, in order to be able to start taking apart these poems and starting to analyze them. For this particular unit, we're starting with five of the basics. We're going to start with alliteration. We have alliteration, which is the repetition of initial consonant sounds. So we're going to be looking for that. We have assonance, the repetition of the vowel sounds is the next one we're going to look at. We have imagery, words or phrases that appeal to the senses. So anything that makes you, anything that appeals to your sense of smell, your sight, something that'll make you see something. Metaphor, comparison between two objects using is or was. Okay, we have a simile, which is also a comparison using like or as. Now these two, very important that you know the difference. They're very similar because they're both comparisons. But the key difference is the word is, was,
Mr.
or
Conte, could you please go
like,
to the gym
or
at this
as.
time? Mr. Conte, please go to the gym at this
Those
time.
are the two biggest differences. You're going to know if it's a metaphor or a simile. All right. As for the metaphor, sometimes they can be kind of tricky. They're not always going to have, they're not always going to have is or was. A lot of times they do, but this is just a general guide, depending on how the author wants to do it. We have a good one right here. Again, like I said, it's not always going to have is or was. It says here, her house, the one whose porch light burned yellow. As we all know, porch lights don't burn. Lights glow, lights shine, but we know they don't burn. That's a perfect example of a metaphor. So, that being said, those are the vocabulary words that we're starting with for this lesson. That's what we're going to start with for this lesson, and this is what I need you guys to learn. So for your assignment, for your activity, I need you to go and find a poem. There are a lot of good poets. There are a lot of good poets out there. There are all kinds of different poems. They might rhyme, they might not rhyme. It's up to you. What I need you to do is take what we talked about today, find a poem, and try to find these things inside that poem. Tomorrow in class, you're going to bring the poem, and we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it, see what you found, and we're going to have a poem in class that we'll discuss together as a class then. So remember, you need to study these terms. You need to find your poem, bring your poem to class tomorrow. Please make sure it's appropriate, and then we're going to talk about all these things in class. I'm going to have a poem for you, and we're going to discuss everything we've learned in class. All right. Thank you.